All right, David Harry here. Now, this is one of my preliminary tests, so I'll get that clear right up front now. This is a proper test, which is basically really for me, but I think it's going to be useful for other people. Now, what it is, this is the Galaxy S21, and what I'm doing right now is working out my optimum levels for it as far as using my Rode Wireless Go there. Now, what I'm doing here is just kind of doing stuff outdoors because I tend to talk louder outdoors. What it is, I've just done a test indoors and I found this to be all kind of like a bit too hot, possibly distorting a bit too much. So what I'm going to do is reproduce outdoors what I was doing indoors, because I will even be a bit more louder, especially right now because I'm right by all this traffic. So I will be raising my voice a bit more. And when you're testing for these types of things, you should always kind of like test for your worst case scenario. And if you've got that covered, then you know that your best case scenario is always going to be okay then. Hence why by the main road. So I'll come off from the road a bit here. So what I'm doing right now is setting the Wireless Go to its lowest level output. Now, here is why. What it is, anything like a smartphone where you're using its analog input, such as the way I'm doing it right now, which is using a USB-C. Sorry, jump cut there. I've just stood in a big load of dog crap. What it is, where I am here right now, it would appear that people seem to think the rules don't apply when your dog takes a big turd in the middle of the park or something. Anyways, what it was up to then was basically explaining the wiring setup, which is the obviously USB-C to get into the phone itself, and then on the end of that cable or adapter it's TRRS for the headphone and mic. Then what I'm doing, I'm going TRRS on a 3.5 to TRS into the receiver of the Wireless Go. So that's the whole loop there. Now the thing with that, it's obviously all analog. Now usually when you're using, say, the inbuilt app of most smart devices, phones, tablets and stuff, they apply AGC, which is basically automatic gain control, which can kind of like add a lot of like a serious amount of gain or even limit and compression and such. So with stuff like that, you have to be careful of how the signal goes in. Now, if you're using dedicated apps, there are some apps out there which will bypass AGC. So you're really good to go with that type of stuff. But generally for basic apps, they've got AGC, so you've got to be really careful. Hence why the testing. So I'm in low mode right now, and indoors, low mode sounded like it was okay, but when I went to medium and high with the Wireless Go's output, it's then started going a bit weird. So what I'm going to do is do a couple of dead quick takes, because I've got a feeling the high one probably definitely will be too hot, maybe distort. So let me just do 2 quick takes. I'm going to go to medium and then high. Okay, so this is now on medium. Now I'm not going to hang around because I've got a feeling that this may be a bit too hot, maybe going into distortion. I'm not too sure. So anyway, this was medium, and this is now the high setting, and I'm defo not going to hang around on this, because I've got a feeling that this may not even just be hot, this may well be going into like full-on distortion and stuff. All right, so now back onto the low setting for the Wireless Go's receiver. And just to explain something else here as well, the thing with the likes of the Wireless Go, this like low, medium and high setting, all that's doing is attenuating the output. It's not actually doing anything with regard to the input. So sometimes if you're like too close to a sound, or if you're recording a loud person like me, and I do get a bit more louder when I'm by roads and stuff and traffic, because me voice is competing with other sounds. The problem is the microphones can actually distort at the mic itself, right at the capsule or the preamp built in and stuff like that. Now the problem with that is, as soon as you've either clipped or distorted at that point, that setting at the other end, low, medium, high, doesn't matter, because all that's going to do is give you a low or medium or high output representation of a pre-distorted or pre-clipped signal. So hopefully I'm just not clipping the actual mic itself or the preamp inside the actual transmitter. So obviously what would have been more useful here is for that low, medium and high to have been proper attenuation at the transmitter mic end, but unfortunately it isn't. But however, if you have got a sensitive input on the phone, which most phones have, it is definitely a plus point to be able to lower the output from whatever is going into the phone. Anyways, hopefully this prelim here is going to give me a really good idea of what settings that I'm going to be using for this particular setup for any of the videos that I do with it, and hopefully it's given other people a bit of an idea of what they may want to do with similar types of setups. Anywho, I'm David Harry, thank you very much for watching this video, take care and goodbye now.